So as we said then, those masks obligatory on public transport from today, and real questions as well about how public transport is going to cope with everyone going back to work and to school as well. Let's cross live then to our reporter Luke Shrago. He joins us from Rochereau metro station in central Paris. Luke, we spoke to you a couple of hours ago. I mean, you looked fairly calm there at that point. What's it actually been like?
It's very much not exactly a return to normal, with public transport authorities leaving absolutely nothing to chance, various measures coming in. Now, there are a few more people on the metro, possibly only slightly more than we saw at the very beginning of the lockdown all those weeks ago. Very much the idea is not so much a progressive return to normal as to try to keep people telecommuting, as it were. If you're coming on public transport, certain measures in effect, such as the wearing of masks, as you should be able to see. For not wearing one, the fine is now €135, but there are other measures in effect as well. There are clear demarcations on the floor. They've put hundreds of thousands of stickers right across the public transport network, specifically in terms of social distancing, showing people where to stand to keep those people apart. There are hydroalcoholic gel dispensers for sanitary gel. And they're also using social distancing measures and filtering outside certain large interchanges and major railway stations, trying to keep large numbers of people from crowding together. One measure that they are using for that is indeed CCTV. At least at certain metro stations, they are bringing this in to try and check that people are wearing masks, to try and ensure that flows are kept down, that flows are regular, and that people are moving forward fluidly, but that there aren't too many of them. Now, 60 stations of Paris's 302 metros are still closed, whereas the others are beginning to at least return to some sort of normal service. Approximately 75% on the Paris transport operator RATP with its means back in service. The real idea is to keep as many people telecommuting as possible, stagger their hours from, instead of coming back over at rush hour, try and work from home, and even cycle lanes being placed down temporarily along the routes of the metro to, instead of having people on public transport, to use bikes instead.
Still though, Luca, there is a lot of concern, isn't there, about how this is going to work with social distancing measures, particularly as more and more people return to work.
The question really is going to be what's going to happen over the next few weeks. It really is a test as to how things are going to be moving. It's sure that the authorities and the government will be watching keenly to see what happens. This is what we're calling phase one, starting today, that will be moving on until June the 2nd. That is when a decision will be made to see how things have evolved and whether these social distancing measures and the other measures on public transport have been working. At that point, a decision will be made in terms of whether we can proceed to phase two, in terms of lifting restrictions further, or whether indeed, in case of a spate of further infections, another spike and possible second wave, well, the government hasn't yet ruled out the possibility of coming on with another lockdown.
Luke, thanks very much. Luke Shrago joining us there from Rochereau metro station in central Paris.